Good afternoon, and welcome to the October 29th edition of News from the Front Lines of Business from DW Huff Consulting. We're going to help you as a small business owner to know your numbers and now actually grow your numbers. All right, so good afternoon. We made it here through another week. Here we are at the end of October, believe it or not. So yeah, wow, the month really flew by. This is going to be kind of a short podcast this week, kind of really backed up on work. A lot of it has to do with spending some time last week at an excellent continuing education seminar out in Phoenix regarding self-directed IRAs and some strategies there. That was very, very worthwhile. Well, before we get started, I had fun with numbers. 2.7 billion. Just saw a number today. Talking about how Facebook is growing and using their algorithms to target advertising and that sort of thing. And the total number of users of Facebook right now is 2.7 billion. So let's give you an idea how big that number is. The entire United States, I think, is somewhere a little bit south of 250 million people. So if we're talking 2.7 billion, that's pretty big. So that's still, so it's not just a U.S. thing. It's very much international. So massive number there, and I guess that's why the valuation is so high of that company. But our news from the front. So we mentioned last week, we went out to that seminar, learned a great deal of things about the self-directed IRA world, and we were very concerned because some provisions in the Build Back Better Act, and particularly the reconciliation that was going to take place with some tax codes that's going to provide the funding for some of the benefits and the spending that was included in the act, was going to target some self-directed IRAs and 401k type accounts, and basically it was going to, in addition to limiting some of the amounts that would be allowed to be stored in these accounts for wealthy people, they're also going to eliminate some of the possibilities for investing in assets outside of Wall Street. So they described it as the Wall Street versus Main Street investment. So currently, these type of accounts can hold smaller companies, rental real estate, and some other cryptocurrencies. And probably 6 or 7 different things that we'll talk about in a lot more details. But you have a lot more choices in the self-directed world, and that was something that was in danger of being taken away. And now we've got it on good advice here from some pension people, and the people that have a lot of the skin in the game, I guess, as far as the lobbyists and things go, who are watching this very closely. Looks like all of those bad provisions are now removed from it, as well as a good bit of other tax provisions that we were concerned about have been removed. And it's the act, who knows how and what variety it's going to pass now, but it's been reduced tremendously, and we'll keep an eye on that. But it looks, just the inside, unofficial scoop here is that these provisions are kind of off the table. They're not even being discussed anymore, so we should be good. Also from the guys, Mark Crollo and his company, they post information regularly. It's very timely and relevant to small businesses. But one thing that was posted this past week that caught my eye was easy business ideas that you can start for less than $5,000. So I have the YouTube post there, but if you email me, if you don't have it, I'll send you the direct link. But one of these ideas we talk about when we're trying to save money for retirement, we probably already got your main job, and a lot of people interested in doing some sort of side hustle, some kind of second business, so they can generate some more money to put into these retirement accounts and savings and things that they could use to utilize some of these strategies. And a lot of times people just didn't know where to start, so they spent some time going over businesses that are very easy to start for $5,000 or less. And aside from the obvious things like Uber or Lyft, or maybe some sort of delivery service that you might use in your own car, there were a number of other service businesses basically, and some smaller retail ideas as well that you can easily start. So take a look at that, because that's we always talk about how saving is so important to implement any strategies. That if you want to invest in anything, first you got to have some money to work with. So this is one way of getting to that point. So if your current employment doesn't quite give you the excess funds to do the investment, and some of these ideas may be helpful to you. Also, this time of year, we know IRS is setting out reminders to everybody to check your tax withholdings, and we like to, I guess, second that idea. They do have a calculator at irs.gov that we recommend. It's pretty user-friendly, I guess. And you type in some information from your last pay stub and a few other bits of information. It kind of tells you if you are under or over withheld. And we definitely don't want to be under withheld, but we also don't want to find ourselves where we're severely over withheld, meaning that there'll be a very large refund, because that money is basically a tax-free loan to the government. Who knows how fast returns will be processed next year, and the refund claims will be processed. So sometimes you could, something happens that slows down the refunds. We could have a situation like this past year where people were counting on money, and it was taking 6 weeks longer than normal to process returns in some cases. So we never want to have to find ourselves where we waiting for our money to come back in. We prefer to adjust the withholdings so that you get that money coming back to you on your check every time you get paid, and by withholding it less. And when you file your return act, you want to be as close to nothing owed and nothing due as we can. If we get it within $1,000 one way or the other, we feel pretty good about it. But we certainly don't encourage people to withhold to the point where they're getting a $5,000 refund, because that's just bad. So anyway, so that's about it for this week. So once again, we have some gorgeous weather outside, and I'll just leave you with this thought here that everybody should be happy to just be here. I mean, no matter what problems you got going on, you're lucky to be alive. And so this quote here is, you're lucky to be alive, and hail and take in life's wonders. And I couldn't agree more with that on a gorgeous day like today. So enjoy your weekend, and we will be back at it Monday morning. Thank you.